Well, they removed the tarp a short time ago. The Ducks are drying off, and we're getting ready for Cubs baseball, taking on the Brewers at the top of the hour. We'll preview the tilt in just a second and get you set for an all-new episode of Bases Loaded at 6:30. Hey, what's up? Welcome to SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business. Mark Shanowski, Pat Boyle, your servers tonight. Cubs, Tommy La Stella finally makes his decision. We'll have that for you in just a second. And what kind of pitch do you think the Blackhawks made to the most sought-after free agent out of college?
3 Stanley Cups, good place to start. Tom Brady will not be with the Patriots to open the regular season, but he's still the center of attention at training camp. And is Notre Dame really thinking about a 2-quarterback system? It's all straight ahead on SportsNet Central.
To SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
That's twice now. It was unbelievable. I remember the last one like it was yesterday, and that one was even better.
Along the right field line. Rizzo on the left. He's got it.
I was impressed at his, balance beam abilities.
I was hoping for at least a 9.5 from the Luxembourg judge.
Oh, what a play! We got the tarp catch. Now we got the ledge catch.
He may not look like a great athlete, but he is a great athlete.
I love you, Riz.
Give him the gold glove right now.
Anthony Rizzo's catch off the ledge at Wrigley last night got a perfect score from all the judges. Clark and Addison capped off a day-night doubleheader sweep for the Brew Crew. And it looked almost exactly like the snag Rizzo made a year ago. How about a year and 4 days prior to last night's catch? It's the original tarp catch against that same Brewers team. Then 369 days later, wash, rinse, repeat. Same opponent, nearly the same spot along the stand, same pitcher, Jason Hamill on the bump. Last night, it was all the Cubs clubhouse was talking about.
It's one of those fun plays where if you make it, you look great. If you don't make it, you kind of look like a fool. So it was nice that I made it.
I know there's a lot of pretty good defensive first basemen, and Riz is right at the top of the list for me. That's the one position I've been able to, as a manager, have a lot of good ones, and even as a coach, whether it was Loney, whether before that was Carlos Pena, Erstad was outstanding. Spezio really had a good year. J.T. Snow, Wally. I mean, I've been around good first basemen, and he's right up at the top of the list.
He certainly is in that group of people, that should be talked about. And, he does it all. He really works hard over at first to try and get to every ball he can, like he did tonight. But he, obviously with what he does offensively, what he brings to the table every day, you really can't ask a guy to do any more to carry a club.
So what are we in store for tonight from that Cubs team? Kelly Krull has your press pass from the corner of Clark and Addison. What's the latest on John Lackey, Kelly, and that Cubs rotation?
Yeah, Pat, well, Lackey's still battling with a little bit of shoulder soreness, so my understanding is that the club will push his next start back a little bit, give him some extra rest. So it'll be Mike Montgomery going on Saturday in Colorado. And then if all goes well and Lackey responds to the rest well, he is scheduled to pitch in the San Diego series after that. Also, of course, we saw Trevor Cahill up yesterday through 5 scoreless innings, so Madden has a guy like that to lean on as well. And the corresponding move will be righty Joe Smith, headed to the 15-day DL. Says he's been battling with a hamstring injury ever since May.
Obviously, I'm not getting the job done out there, so I think everybody felt that it was in my best interest to kind of take this time and get to 100% and come back and do what I was traded here to do and what I've done for my whole career. It's frustrating and it sucks, but it's where we are right now. And I just want to get back and get healthy and help this team.
other personnel updates to pass along. Tommy LaStella has reported to AA Tennessee. He will be hitting second and playing second base tonight for the Smokies. LaStella was optioned to AAA Iowa nearly 3 weeks ago now and has been working out at his home in New Jersey ever since, working through some things according to the club, who gave him extended time during this process. And Madden spoke earlier about the plan for LaStella moving forward.
That's great. I mean, good news, obviously for him and, you know, hopefully for us too. I mean, but yeah, it's the first of I've heard of it, so I'm not aware of the situation. I mean, obviously it's something that, you know, and something that I didn't really want to follow. I mean, that's up to Tommy and you know, in the front office. But like I said before, he's a great player, you know, a great teammate to me, and I'm glad to see him back on the field.
Of course, the rosters expand in September, and Madden made it sound like it would be their plan to incorporate LaStella at that point. He says there are sure to be conversations between he and his teammates, which, as we're all been talking about, there could be some strain there. But as you heard Chris Bryant, most of them just hoping they get the Tommy LaStella back that they had before, and that he's healthy and ready to contribute to this team. One other note to pass along, guys. Chris Coughlin has been sent to the 15-day DL with a rib contusion after colliding with Addison Russell in the outfield last night. And Spencer Patton has been recalled from AAA Iowa. So one more arm to add to that bullpen that has certainly been used quite a bit after that doubleheader yesterday. So a lot of moving and shaking, bruised up, banged up guys here in August, but this club helping to get healthy, of course, before the stretch run coming up.
Kelly Krull with your human resources update from the north side. We look forward to your reports during and after tonight's game, Kelly. Thanks.
Sounds good.
Never a dull moment at Wrigley Field. Now it's time for our Bears training camp coverage presented by Apt, appliances, electronics, and more. Just a light walkthrough practice for the Bears and Patriots ahead of tomorrow night's preseason tangle in Foxborough. And since the players weren't wearing pads today, we didn't see any repeat of the skirmishes that have been breaking out during the first 2 days of contact drills. As you know, Tom Brady will have to sit out the first 4 regular season games while he serves a suspension from the almost 2-year-old Deflategate scandal. While the Patriots are busy getting Brady's backup, Jimmy Garoppolo, ready, Brady still the #1 attraction in training camp. He spent some time visiting with Bears QBs Jay Cutler and Brian Hoyer. Hoyer, one of Brady's backups in New England from 2009 to 11.
Tom, you know, from day one, when he came and introduced himself, I said, "Hey, I'm Tom." Like, kind of, I knew that already, but that's just kind of the way he is. He's so humble and a great guy, and to be able to stay in touch, you know, he's always been one of the first guys to text me after a game, or whether it was a good, bad, or ugly, or whatever it was. So it's a friendship that I have really cherished over the years. You know, I remember those years just trying to sit back and watch and soak up everything, whether it was in the meeting room, on the field, you know, training, whatever it might be. He's such an intense competitor, and if you can just soak it all up, you know, you just kind of gain it by being around him.
Hoyer with nothing but good things to say about the future Hall of Famer. And since Brady entered the league some 16 years ago, we thought we'd take a look at how his stats compared to all the Bears quarterbacks. 21 in all under center. That takes you all the way back to the days of Cade McNown. There's a lot to be said for continuity and talent.
You think?
Plenty of talent in the Tom Brady column. Well, we're closing in on the start of the college football season as well. Notre Dame faced with a difficult choice at quarterback. Brian Kelly will provide us an answer of sorts. We'll also check in on the Rio Olympics, a local athlete earning a medal, and Nikola Mirotic with an impressive performance for Team Spain on the basketball court. More SportsNet Central after a quick timeout.
Bears training camp coverage is presented by Apt, appliances, electronics, and more. Pleasing people since 1936. SportsNet Central brought to you by Comcast Business. Comcast Business, built for business.
Your business needs a lot of speed, but getting it doesn't have to break the bank. Introducing the Comcast Business Summer Savings Event. Now you can get a lot for a little as a cup of coffee and donut a day. Fast internet speed to drive performance, plus cutting-edge Wi-Fi for your employees and customers, and voice mobility so your calls find you wherever you are. Get some of our most advanced products at a great price with over $500 in savings. Call today and ask how to get these savings plus a $250 prepaid card. Comcast Business, built for business.
The city of Chicago emerged from the ashes, literally, and rose to greatness. And in those fires, a certain toughness, honesty, and work ethic was forged. A straightforward, what you see is what you get attitude. There's no pretense. There's no gray area. There's only black and white. It's time to take the field. It's time to play some ball. It's time to step up.
With a curved ultra-high-definition screen, Samsung's SUHD TVs give you a brighter picture and the most brilliant colors for the best viewing experience. It's Samsung's best TV, and it's here at Apt Electronics, available in screen sizes from 48 to 88 inches. Come see it today. Guaranteed low prices, unbeatable selection, and free local delivery. Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
Next Friday at 7, come out and enjoy great baseball as CSN's Kelly Kroll hosts a Coors Light viewing party at City Tap in Norwich. Watch your Central Division leaders battle Colorado and enjoy ice-cold Coors Light. Great beer equals great responsibility. He's your sweet swinging base path burning leadoff man, the table setter, the daring defender, and the straw that stirs the drink. Cubs versus Brewers, tonight at 7 on CSN.
We're back with tonight's Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly definitely has a quarterback battle on his hands during training camp. Deshaun Kaiser did an excellent job taking over for the injured starter Malik Zaire a year ago. Both players are capable of making plays running as well as throwing the football. Comcast Business, built for business. And if history is any indication, trying to play two quarterbacks on a regular basis, well, generally not a good plan for team success. And the Irish don't have any margin for error. They have a typically demanding schedule starting September 4th with a trip to Texas. Still, Kelly is willing to take the quarterback competition into that season opener.
They both have been outstanding. They both make plays. They're both playmakers. You know, we would just continue to practice and continue to see both of these guys make plays. So we're going to play both of them at Texas.
Does this not bother you to play two?
It doesn't bother me to play two going into the Texas game, and then we'll see what happens the next week against Nevada. I'm focused strictly on how we beat Texas, and we're best prepared to beat Texas by playing both Deshaun and Malik.
We'll see how that goes. Down to Rio now. Evan Jager, native of Algonquin and a Jacobs High graduate, competing in the 3,000-meter steeplechase medal race. And Mark, you know this. For those that don't, steeplechase event features both hurdles and a unique water obstacle where runners must jump over a barrier and trek a ditch, which by the name of the band I was in college, Trek a Ditch. We owned East Lansing. After finishing 6th in the 2012 London Games, Jager put up quite a performance, finishing with a time of 8 minutes and 4 seconds. Jager had the highest finish by an American since 1952. The only man to finish faster than him was Kenya's Consensus Capreta, who set a new Olympic record.
Coach, you're going to leave that pronunciation out. Meanwhile, on the pitch, Brazilian captain Neymar achieved his own unique feat against Honduras. Just 10 seconds into this match, Neymar causes a takeaway deep in opponent's territory, and you know he's going to finish that one. An easy score there coming at the 15-second mark, the quickest goal ever in Olympic history. Brazil set the pace early en route to a 6-zip rout. The host country advances to the gold medal match against Germany. That comes up on Saturday. How about Team USA men's basketball playing their quarterfinal game against Argentina at this hour? U.S. fell behind by 10 points early, but then they used a 38-8 run to take control of that game. Jimmy Butler, part of the group that came off the bench and sparked the American squad. Butler currently with 7 points in the game. The United States pulling away 93-65 with about 6 minutes left to go. Coach K's guys will get a rapidly improving Spain team in the semis. Nikola Mirotic, 16 of his 23 points in the first half. He hit 5 of 8 from three-point range as Spain beats France. They've won 4 straight since a pair of close losses to start the Olympics.
Jimmy VC is the most prized college free agent in the NHL right now. And the Hawks made their pitch today. Plus, our Patrick Moody drops by to share some insider scoop on Tommy LaStella. And what's the plan with John Lackey? Coming back with more SportsNet Central after this.
The old dorm, if these walls could talk.
Stop hammer time.
I think the wall is talking.
MC Hammer? He can't touch this.
And when you're hanging in the dorm, you shouldn't touch this or this. Here, use command hooks instead. Hold strong, damage-free. Just peel, stick, and ta-da! Then when school is out, stretch command hook off and ta-da, ta-da!
Legit.
Still legit.
Oh.
What's happening?
Command, do no harm.
200 million watching history be made. 2 million making their own. 5 seconds gained. And a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business, with $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games, over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention, 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
Everything you know about TVs has changed. The breakthrough technology found in LG's new 4K OLED TVs produces bolder colors and more intense blacks to create a picture so vivid it defies description. Combined with a sleek, ultra-thin design, they're nothing like you've ever seen. Come experience this revolution in television technology at Apt Electronics. Guaranteed low prices, great selection, and free local delivery. Apt. Pleasing people since 1936.
Back at SportsNet Central with our Sports Business Insider presented by Elk Grove Village, Makers Wanted. This guy right here, the most sought-after free agent out of college by NHL teams, Jimmy VC. He was the captain of his Harvard team. He won the Hobey Baker last season, which is basically the Heisman Trophy of hockey. There are believed to be now 7 teams in the VC sweepstakes. You got the Sabres, the Leafs, the Islanders, Devils, Bruins, Rangers, and Hawks. On Wednesday, he was set to meet with the Rangers, also Stan Bowman and the Blackhawks, and then the hometown Bruins were going to make the last pitch. And I asked Scott Powers from the Athletic Chicago how the Blackhawks pitch may have gone.
The Blackhawks have had pretty good success in selling players. They sold to Panarin, they sold to Trevor Van Riemsdyk, Michael Kempney this past year. A lot of free agents have gotten this pitch, and a lot of them like it. It's a success, and it's also about opportunity. And I think the Blackhawks, since they traded Saad and Sharp, they really haven't had that top-line left winger. They had to kind of temporary fix Andrew Ladd last year, but they're selling opportunity and playing in the top line and playing with Taves, and then also selling what they've been as a franchise, and I hope to continue to be in, for years to come.
He gets it down, and the flip late. Cahill knocks in Coughlin.
Trevor Cahill returned from the minors to give the Cubs a big lift in the opener of last night's day-night doubleheader against the Brew Crew. Cahill pitched 5 scoreless innings, allowed just 2 hits. The bullpen did the rest in a 4-0 win. Jason Hamill was the story in Game 2. He kept the Brewers off the scoreboard for 7 innings. Cubs went on to win it 4-1. He's been the team's most effective pitcher since the All-Star break, but might not even get a start in the postseason. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Take you out to Wrigley Field. We're going to welcome in our CSNChicago.com Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney. Patrick, let's start off with an update on John Lackey. He had to leave Sunday's game because of stiffness in his shoulder. When will Lackey's next start come?
Well, Mark, Lackey's declined to talk to reporters for 2 straight days now, but the Cubs have elected to give him a couple extra days to let that shoulder improve a little bit. They'll skip him in Colorado this weekend. He misses Coors Field, and then they'll roll him out in San Diego, hoping that will, keep him fresh. With Joe Smith coming out with this hamstring injury, it's something he dealt with earlier this season. I mean, Cubs fans have seen it. The results just haven't been there. He's been walking guys, giving up home runs to right-handers, really kind of out of character. And in this way, they're still able to keep around Trevor Cahill as that insurance policy in case, this Lackey shoulder issue starts to linger.
Well, Lackey didn't come to Chicago for a haircut. He didn't come here to go on the DL either. Well, we know that Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer are always looking for ways to try to upgrade the roster. They did have Jonathan Papelbon on their roster as the closer with the Red Sox. What's the likelihood the Cubs roll the dice on the always controversial Jonathan Papelbon?
Mark, at this point, I would be shocked if Papelbon came to Chicago. I'm told that is not happening, that the Red Sox have come on really strong trying to bring him back to Fenway Park. I think we've been talking about these kind of roster crunch issues for a while now. And really, Papelbon is a huge name. He's a lightning rod, but he's just not the same 95-mile-an-hour closer he was in Boston. He's a diminished pitcher, and as much as the Cubs can probably handle almost any personality at this point, he's just not a fit here right now. But I think you're right. Theo and Jed are going to continue to look and try and upgrade the roster. I think if they could find another left-handed hitter, they would certainly be open to that possibility.
I agree with you, Patrick. Diminished skills, no need to bring Papelbon here. Finally, Tommy La Stella is back to playing baseball again. He's starting tonight for the Cubs AA team. What does La Stella have to do to mend fences with the organization, maybe more importantly with his teammates, so he can rejoin the Cubs for the stretch run?
Well, Mark, I think Chris Bryant unwittingly put it best when he said, "Oh, Tommy's back. I didn't even know that. I haven't really been following that." And he wasn't saying it sarcastically. It's just kind of, in baseball, you're out of sight, out of mind, and it's such a routine, rhythm-driven game. The Cubs reeled off an 11-game winning streak not long after La Stella left. Yes, he's a nice bench player, in certain matchups, an extra infielder. But this team does not revolve around Tommy La Stella. And, Joe Madden said, he's going to have to do it himself in terms of fence mending. That it's going to be the individual conversations that he has with guys, and I think it'll be fascinating to hear his full response, because with Chris Coughlin going on the DL today, you got to think that Tommy La Stella probably would have been back here by now if he had just taken that initial option to Iowa.
We'll see what changes come to the roster before September 1st. Nice to see the sun shining at Wrigley Field. Patrick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mark.
As for the White Sox, they continue to play baseball games. The Southside faithful, they're already on to next season. The question is, where is that Sox front office at? There have been rumblings that Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn are not exactly on the same page. Our David Kaplan sets the record straight. I spoke with Jerry Reinsdorf on Tuesday, and Jerry made it very clear that he, Kenny Williams, and Rick Hahn are 100% in lockstep, to quote him. He said, "You will know exactly what our plan is in the offseason because our actions will absolutely show what we're going to do by the time the winter meetings roll around in early December." This despite some thought in the industry that the White Sox might have had Rick Hahn wanting to rebuild and Kenny Williams not quite on board with that plan. Again, Jerry Reinsdorf refuting that, saying, quote, "The three of us are 100% in lockstep." We're 36 minutes away from Cubs baseball. More SportsNet Central after this.
Hey, how's it going? Hotcakes?
Hotcakes.
This place has hotcakes.
Hotcakes.
So why aren't they selling like hotcakes? With Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi Pro, they could be. Just add a customized message to your Wi-Fi Pro splash page, and you'll reach your customers where their eyes are already, on their devices.
Order up.
It's more than just Wi-Fi. It can help grow your business. You don't see that every day.
Introducing Wi-Fi Pro. Wi-Fi that helps grow your business. Comcast Business. Built for business.
It's Alpha Body Ford Summer Blowout. Right now, you can buy a Ford Focus for $100 down and only $169 a month. Or get 0% financing for 72 months and $1,000 cash back.
That was it. $100 down.
I paid $100 down and only $169 a month.
Get the car you want with over 1,000 cars to choose from and the lowest prices of the year. The Summer Blowout event going on now at the original Alpha Body Ford, 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park.
The prodigal daughter returns.
Promise me you're not here to sow discord in the fields of my peace.
Checks and balances. You seem to be only interested in the checks.
I'd be damned if I'm gonna let everything I worked for slip through my fingers.
This time, brother, you going down.
Brought to you locally by The Room Place, your family furniture store since 1912.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is the precision of professional grade. Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $8,400 cash back on this Yukon Denali.
Is it a force of nature or a sales event? The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Get exceptional offers now during the Summer of Audi sales event.
White Sox pitcher Anthony Renato homered against the Cubs back in July. He won't get a chance to hit tonight in Cleveland. Back in the bigs, though, for the Southsiders. He's on his game against the Tribe tonight. First up, Carlos Santana grounds out to second. And the always dangerous Jason Kipnis. A little can of corn, right field. And then Francisco Lindor would end the frame with a ground out to first. Exciting highlight. That's White Sox baseball, baby. 1-2-3 inning. They're scoreless in Cleveland. That is going to do it for us. Thank you for watching SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
More on the Cubs and White Sox coming up. Layla Rahimi is next with an all-new edition of Bases Loaded, followed by round 3 between the Cubs and Brewers with Len and JD. So long, everyone.
Everything you know about TVs has changed. The breakthrough technology found in LG's new 4K OLED TVs produces bolder colors and more intense blacks to create a picture so vivid it defies description. Combined with a sleek, ultra-thin design, they're nothing like you've ever seen. Come experience this revolution in television technology at Apt Electronics. Guaranteed low prices, great selection, and free local delivery. Apt. Pleasing people since 1936.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Pat Hughes reporting from Wrigleyville Sports, where the excitement is building. Devin is getting a new home white jersey customized while he waits. He'll be ready for game action in no time. Ashley is having fun taking selfies in her new Cubs t-shirt. Fits like a glove. Colin is testing out a new bat. Get out the tape measure, long gone. Across the street from Wrigley Field, Wrigleyville Sports is your one-stop shop for everything Cubs. Open 7 days a week or anytime at WrigleyvilleSports.com.
200 million watching history be made. 2 million making their own. 5 seconds gained. And a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business, with $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games, over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention, 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
It starts with the low Fields price, and then we include all of the Fields amenities at no extra charge.
You don't have to go in there and beat them up about the price because they're already giving you the best price.
A low price and a whole lot more, like our Fields amenities that include free loaners, free car washes, and our Fields cafes.
The deal I'm getting is always great. So it works out for me, works out for my pocket.
We simply treat people the way we want to be treated. It's a commitment to our customers we made long ago. Fields matters because you matter.
To Bases Loaded. I'm Layla Rahimi. This is our half-hour show as we lead you up to first pitch between the Brewers and the Cubs. Thanks again for joining me as we serve up 30 minutes of nothing but baseball with special guest interviews from Wrigley Field and much more. But we can only start this show one way, and that's by laying out for Anthony Rizzo's catch on the ledge.
That's twice now. It was unbelievable. I remember the last one like it was yesterday, and that one was even better.
Along the right field line. Rizzo on the left. He's got it.
I was impressed at his, balance beam abilities.
I was hoping for at least a 9.5 from the Luxembourg judge.
Oh, what a play! We got the tarp catch. Now we got the ledge catch.
He may not look like a great athlete, but he is a great athlete. I love you, Riz.
Give him a gold glove right now.
Oh, it's good stuff. And Rizzo tweeted this gem, new day, new game. But that was fun last night. Final 6, 2020. Of course, with the American flags and gold medal emojis. Here's what Rizzo and his teammates had to say after the game last night.
It's one of those fun plays where if you make it, you look great. If you don't make it, you kind of look like a fool. So it was nice that I made it.
I know there's a lot of pretty good defensive first basemen, but Riz is right at the top of the list for me. That's the one position I've been able to, as a manager, have a lot of good ones, and even as a coach, whether it was Loney, whether before that was Carlos Pena, Erstad was outstanding. Spezio really had a good year. JT Snow, Wally. I mean, I've been around good first basemen, and he's right up at the top of the list.
He certainly is in that group of people, that should be talked about. And he does it all. He really works hard over at first to try and get to every ball he can, like he did tonight. But he, obviously with what he does offensively, he brings to the table every day. You really can't ask a guy to do any more to carry a club.
So imagine how excited this guy was after seeing that catch, going to the ballpark with Rizzo's face shaved into his head. MLB's Twitter got a hold of this one. So not only does he have a face where his face is, but he has a face in the back of his head. Okay. Great look, though, by the way. And as the tweet says, yes, so much dedication. To tonight's game, the Cubs, winners of 16 of 19, play the third of 4 games against the Brewers. John Lester goes for win number 13 against Jimmy Nelson. So, John, in advance of facing the Brewers on Wednesday, they've got some guys who can hit. Chris Carter is known to hit a home run or two. How do you face them knowing they have better talent than that record might indicate?
Yeah, definitely. They've been able to swing the bats pretty well. It's definitely a lineup that you can't go in and think that you're just going to walk through and walk away with 7 shutouts. So you definitely have to prepare the same way you would as against anybody else, and kind of forget that they haven't won as many games as I feel like their offense should have. So just prepare the same and don't take anything for granted, that's for sure, and just try to make pitches.
It seems like that all-star break rest was exactly what you guys needed as a team. You've been rolling since as a staff and on the hitting side as well. What do you think about what you guys have put together so far after the break?
It's been good. Like you said, that break was huge for us. Not only just for the off days, but just kind of getting back home. We played, I think it was 24, 25 straight, and we were on the road for 10 or 11 of those, so if not even more. So I think for us, just have a nice long homestand and play here. We play so well here that I think that helps us as well. So. But I think just having that break and kind of everybody clearing their heads. We had a few guys struggling both, on the mound and offensively. So kind of give some guys a mental breather more than a physical breather and kind of get away from things and come back fresh. And we've been playing really well since. So it's been good to see. And this run we've been on here the last, 12 games is pretty impressive as well.
It's fun to watch. Now, we know this is a team that is known for their swag in the clubhouse, shirts and all of that. But you may have beaten Joe Madden in the swag game with these American flag shorts that I know the entire pitching staff loves to wear.
Yeah.
Tell me what inspired this, and then obviously the reception you've received from them.
Yeah, it kind of started back in 13. Johnny Gomes actually got them from one of his buddies. His kid was going through cancer, and it was more of like a charitable thing. And since then, we've kind of just designed our own, and that's what these are. It's just they have I have a farm down in Georgia, so it's my farm logo on them, and anytime you can wear an American flag, anything, it's always fun. So just something I got Never Quit on there as well, and just something kind of fun, just different for guys. And I'm waiting on more sizes so I can give them out to the rest of the guys, but just kind of handed them out to the guys that were around me, until we get some more bigger sizes. So it's just fun. It's just something different, and I think like you said, Joe always kind of adds a little personality to everything. So it's a little personality for the clubhouse.
Are you aware that Jason Hamill paired the American flag shorts with the Hamill for President T-shirt?
I did not. That's very American. I did not see that. But yeah, that's about as American as you can get there.
Obviously, having the Never Quit logo is so important to you. It's a fun charity to watch and see what you guys do. What's the latest as far as where you are with that and what's going on?
We had a great year. We're still obviously going. We're doing all the internet stuff, but our event turned out really, really well this year. We raised almost $400,000, so that blew our previous record out of the water. And any time that you raise a bunch of money like that, obviously for me it humbles me and just makes me appreciate not only my teammates but everybody that came out and donated their time and their money to our cause. And it's just awesome. It's fun to be a part of. I've got to meet a lot of cool people doing this foundation, a lot of cool doctors, and a lot of people that spend their whole lives based in research. And research can sometimes not be very rewarding, and so for us to give them a little boost, I think not only helps them but helps obviously the kids that are involved with some of these treatments, and hopefully we can continue to break through and find new cures for all these different types of cancers.
Well, it's been great to watch and keep up with, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was great catching up with John Lester, and in the spirit of Never Quit, let's look back on March 24th when the Cubs tweeted out this touching video. This is what Clark the Cub is all about. His friend Audrey got a nice surprise visit before her treatment today. Of course, young Audrey battling cancer like a champion. And then we fast forward to Monday, where Clark the Cub tweeted this. Remember my BFF, Audrey. I'm so excited to report that she is now cancer-free. That is great news. Congratulations to Audrey, and thanks to Clark the Cub for letting everyone know. Well, back to baseball and back to the state of the Cubs. Entering Wednesday, they've gone 22-8 in their last 30 games. The Cubs are a season-high tying 32 games, and at 75-43, have reached 75 wins in their first 118 decisions for the first time since starting the 1929 season. 81 and 37. Now, for more on the Northsiders, we head out live to Wrigley Field, and that is where we find our Cubs reporter, Kelly Kroll. Hey, Kelly. Tommy La Stella is on his way to Double-A, so do you think he will be called back up, at least at the beginning of September? And if so, how will he be received?
Yeah, Layla, all signs certainly pointing in that direction with Tommy La Stella reporting to Double-A Tennessee this evening. He'll be hitting second, playing second base. It's been nearly 3 weeks since, of course, the club sent him down to AAA Iowa at the time, and Jed Hoyer spoke just a few minutes ago about how he will still need to get plenty of at-bats before they do look to bring him up here. I think the irony to all of this is that Chris Coughlin was actually placed on the 15-DA this afternoon with a rib contusion, and had La Stella reported originally 3 weeks ago, you might be seeing him up here this evening, but that's something, of course, he'll have to deal with himself. And this whole time, Hoyer's saying all of this was about Tommy La Stella getting in a good place mentally. So when he does get up here, if indeed they call him up in September when the roster expands, there will be some conversations that'll need to be had between he and his teammates, and I think that'll be very fascinating to listen to as that evolves. But certainly all signs pointing in the direction that a lefty off the bench would be a good thing at this point in time for Joe Madden. I'm fighting through this song right now, Layla, but it's almost done, so ask me another question.
I will. They've certainly handled this situation with patience, much similar to how you were handling the song behind you in your ear, Kelly. Anthony Rizzo certainly has stepped up as a team leader and a potential MVP. How have you seen his leadership take place on this team?
Yeah, it was interesting last night. Of course, the MVP chant started up after Rizzo made that spectacular grab over there in foul territory. But Jason Hamill asked about that after the game, and he said it's really unique. A young guy like Anthony Rizzo is a funny guy, and he leads by example, but there's a way to his methods where he will joke with guys. He'll play around, talk to them in the dugout, and it helps ease them in a way that Jason Hamill was saying not many guys can do, and it's been unique watching him come into his own with the team surrounding him now that is surrounding him. And really, Jason Hamill says it's a young guy that's leading this entire team in the direction where he wants it to go, and that direction is winning. And they're certainly doing a lot of that, as we just heard you go through all of their wins here in the last month.
And since Aroldis Chapman arrived in Chicago, Kelly, his appearances have been as advertised. What are Chapman's teammates saying about his performances on the field?
I think we're still hearing a lot of wows. It never ceases to amaze those guys in the dugout as they watch the radar gun on the big video board out here. I think, as you said, as good as advertised. 2 saves in a day yesterday. Hasn't been done since 2004. But the thing I hear most often is the guys saying just watching the other team in that situation as he comes out of the bullpen is completely demoralizing. No matter where they are in the game, they feel as though it is locked up when Aroldis Chapman is coming out of the bullpen. And I'm seeing his demeanor, if you will, really lighten up from, of course, the first day, him arriving and the press conference ordeal. He's certainly settled into his own, and I'm seeing him laugh with guys, joke around with guys, especially at the end of the game. Check out how he embraces, whether it be David Ross or Wilson Contreras at the end of the game. I think he's feeling a lot more comfortable here, and rightfully so. It just takes a couple weeks for him to kind of ease into that situation.
Well, Kelly, thanks. We look forward to your reports during the game from Wrigley Field tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, Layla.
Oh, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite internet things. Fans having fun with Photoshop and imposing Anthony Rizzo's image on everything. Clearly, he'd win the All-Valley Karate Championship. We are just getting started on Bases Loaded. Kyle Hendricks isn't the only Dartmouth connection on the Cubs. Find out how Trevor Cahill fits into that picture. We will talk to yesterday's starting pitcher. Plus, will Todd Frazier be back next season at the hot corner for the Sox? And has Jose Quintana been the Southsiders team MVP? Our Chuck Garfine joins me to separate fact from fiction. And let's take a live look at Clark and Addison, where the Cubs and Brewers are just about 21 minutes away from Game 3 of this series. We have much more on Bases Loaded straight ahead.
I fix I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Your heart's been repaid.
Your business needs a lot of speed, but getting it doesn't have to break the bank. Introducing the Comcast Business Summer Savings Event. Now you can get a lot for a little as a cup of coffee and donut a day. Fast internet speed to drive performance, plus cutting-edge Wi-Fi for your employees and customers, and voice mobility so your calls find you wherever you are. Get some of our most advanced products at a great price with over $500 in savings. Call today and ask how to get these savings plus a $250 prepaid card. Comcast Business, built for business.
Welcome to Honda.
Thank you.
Head over heels, where should I go? Can't stop myself, out of control. Head over heels, no time to think. Looks like the whole world's out of sync.
So you like it?
I do.
Now is the moment to get the Honda CR-V you love, the best-selling SUV in America, at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
Online check?
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Save time every time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Saturday night on CSN Plus. The men in red are fired up as they head north of the border for an Eastern Conference battle with Montreal. Watch them inflame the impact and go for the goal. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. on CSN Plus. Game on.
He's your sweet swinging base path burning leadoff man. The table setter. The daring defender. And the straw that stirs the drink. Cubs versus Brewers, tonight at 7 on CSN.
Happy to be joined by our special guest from Wrigley Field. It is the first starter in the doubleheader against the Brewers, Trevor Cahill. Trevor, thanks for joining me, and let's start with that start that you had. After getting stretched out, you resumed a starter's role, 5 innings, 2 hits. How was that for you, being back out on the mound?
It felt really good to come back, especially make a start here in Wrigley. You know, it was pretty special.
It was also a neat situation to see, just because you, like a lot of guys on that Cubs bullpen, have been flexible. You know, we know Travis Wood is capable of starting, as are you. So to be able to assume that role and then get in it again after doing what you've done in the bullpen, I think that says a lot about the versatility that you guys have and just being willing to do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially the beginning of the year, we had a lot of guys that were, you know, ex-starters, and, you know, I think it helps out a lot if they need a spot starter. They don't have to go down and maybe do some extra roster moves. They can, you know, use one of us and, you know, stretch us out, you know, maybe a couple games before that, so we're ready to go.
Well, you guys were not short on the theater yesterday, that's for sure. Anthony Rizzo's catch is now all over the internet. What did you think about what you saw last night out of Rizzo?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here for the one when he made it off the tarp, but I think the one yesterday, I think it was a little bit more difficult, and, you know, I couldn't believe he made it, and unfortunately he made it and he's okay, because that's, you know, brick wall is could be dangerous.
He also had a pretty good catch in the first game as well. What did you think of that one?
Yeah, I mean, Rizzo did a good job knocking it down, and, you know, I knew it was going to be close, so I knew he was going to chuck it at me, and I was just, you know, ready, and luckily it didn't hit me in the face.
Now, I know a lot is made of Kyle Hendricks, Trevor, when it comes to being the professor, but you were a Dartmouth commit as well. And the research we did says you got a 1950 out of 2,400 on the SAT. So could there be a professor battle between Cubs pitchers in the future?
No, I don't think so. You know, I haven't been to school in quite a while, and, you know, he has. So, and he's a really smart guy, and I mean, you can see how he goes about his business on the mound. You know, and I don't know if he got his degree or not, but he was there for at least 3 years, so I guarantee you he's smarter than I am.
Something tells me you would still get into Dartmouth, Trevor, and in the meantime, we look forward to whatever role you may have on the mound coming up next. Trevor, thank you so much for the time.
All right. Thank you.
It was an entertaining day and night of baseball at Wrigley yesterday, including this in the 7th inning. The O and L in Jorge Soler's name changed to slower. Probably not the intention, but hey, good effort on the part of these fans. Oh, it's time for another Rizzo. What is he doing next? This time surfing. That courtesy of Cut4 on Twitter. Great account to follow. They've gotten a ton of these pictures. Still amusing throughout this show on Bases Loaded. Now to the Southsiders, where it remains tough sledding for Robin Ventura's crew. The team is 3-4 in their last 7 games, all on the road. They've scored 27 runs, and they've allowed 27 runs. The starters have registered 4 quality starts. The team is batting .277. Chuck Garfien now joining me on the set of Bases Loaded for a little game of White Sox Fact or Fiction. Nice to see you without Belton Milbelton today.
You just ripped Bill.
I didn't, though.
Yeah. You didn't?
No.
Oh, you just want to see me without him, though?
Sometimes. I think that's fair.
We're basically joined at the hip, so this is a rarity.
Yeah.
During baseball season to see me not with Bill. So
I know.
I appreciate it. It was a compliment.
It was not a rip on Bill. It was more like a compliment that you two can act independently.
I'm just having fun with you.
Okay, so fact or fiction? Jose Quintana is the most valuable player for the White Sox so far this season.
I'm going to go with fiction, because if you're going to give an MVP to a player, it's tough to give it to a pitcher, someone who only comes out there every 5 days. You'd have to have an amazing, almost record-breaking season to give an MVP, in my opinion, to a pitcher. So I'm going to go with fiction, but the guy I would give the MVP to, actually, is Adam Eaton on this team, because what he has done offensively and defensively, and he plays every day, is really phenomenal. Phenomenal. I just gave you a David
phenomenal.
But he's got 17 assists defensively, outfield assists. That is 3 more than anybody else in baseball. His defensive WAR, I believe, is 4th. He's 14th in WAR overall. So I give my MVP right now to Adam Eaton. But nothing wrong with Jose Quintana. He's had a great season. I just wish he'd win some more games, and the team would win some more games behind him.
Absolutely. And Adam Eaton has that great shirt. We out here eating, fam. Okay, Chuck, another one, fact or fiction. Todd Frazier will be the White Sox starting third baseman next year.
This is tough. This is really tough. I could go either way with this one, because it's tough to say what the full offseason plans for the White Sox are going to be. But the fact that they went so many years looking for a third baseman, they finally have a third baseman. For them to trade him after 1 year, that would be tough for them, I think, to stomach. But then again, he's only signed for 1 more season. There aren't a lot of good third basemen out there. So even if they did try to trade him, I'm not sure what kind of third baseman they could potentially get back in return. So for the moment, I'm going fact. He's back with the White Sox next season.
Tentatively.
Yeah.
And then finally, Chuck, fact or fiction, Rick Hahn will rebuild the White Sox once again this offseason.
Yeah, I think this team is going to be rebuilt. How much it's going to be rebuilt, that is still the question mark. I think they're going to be definitely open to trading a Chris Sale and or Jose Quintana, but it also depends on A, what they're looking for to get them in return, and what teams are willing to pay to get those guys. So there will be a rebuilding of some sort. Tear down, I don't think they need to tear it all down, because there are some young players on this team with good contracts. They don't have to necessarily tear it down, but there'll be a lot of changes next season.
Well, fact, we love it when you're on the program. We love Bill, too. I can't do a good Bill impression, though.
You have to have a deep voice.
There it is.
Gotta go deep.
Everyone is represented. Thanks to Chuck Garfien for playing a little fact or fiction. I appreciate the time here on Bases Loaded.
No problem.
How about some highlights now? Carson Fulmer was optioned earlier today to AAA Charlotte. Anthony Renato starting for the White Sox against the Indians, and he got roughed up in the second rather. That was Lonnie Chisenhall with a man on and 1 out, and he crushes that one. So Cleveland with a 2-run blast to right, his 7th, but the Sox answer right back. Tim Anderson batting with a man aboard in the 3rd inning, taking Carlos Carrasco deep to left field, a towering 2-run home run. That ties the game currently at 2 runs apiece. I hear there's been another Anthony Rizzo. Oh, yes, we've spotted Rizzo again. This time, Rizzo skateboarding. Not bad to take a look at. We'll have a few more of these in the show as we get you ready for the Cubs and the Brewers here on Bases Loaded. And we are about 11 minutes away from John Lester and the Cubs taking on the Brewers right here on Comcast SportsNet. More Bases Loaded coming up. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, there was the original White Castle chicken ring. And now we're introducing the new pretzel chicken ring. Made with delicious all-white meat, they're crispy, shareable, and extremely dippable. The ring is the thing. In fact, it's everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
Mission accomplished. I ordered ahead. Pick up for Mike.
20 chicken rings for just $4.99, only at White Castle.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 Double Play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
Conor McGregor, the real money fight is me.
I'm just the best there is, and that's it.
What are we gonna do? You'll do nothing. Oh! What a fight!
Conor got beat.
That's it! He's got the choke! I'm not surprised.
Better step it up for this one. Nate, rest up. The king is coming.
Oh! Conor McGregor! He slapped him! Nate Diaz! What a night, ladies and gentlemen!
My 95-year-old mother developed a deep bed sore in a nursing home. They told me this was normal, but it didn't sound right to me. I immediately called the nursing home lawyers at Pintas and Mullins.
If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores, sepsis, broken bones, physical or sexual abuse, malnutrition, or choking, call me now and we'll investigate your case.
Pintas and Mullins got my family $800,000 from the insurance company.
You pay us nothing unless we get you a settlement.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Chicago brings you an all-star lineup for 2016.
Let's start at the top of the roster with the redesigned Chevy Malibu.
Our team favorite is the Chevy Silverado. Pack away all your gear in this full-size pickup truck.
It's the August Summer Sell Down. Save up to 25% off MSRP on Cruise or 25% off Malibu. And get 0% financing on select new Chevy models.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Chicago, 1 mile west of the Kennedy on beautiful Irving Park Road.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet, the Chevy Giant.
Here's a look at the Cubs lineup in advance of the third game of the series against the Brewers. Dexter Fowler leading off, Chris Bryant next, Anthony Rizzo. And by the way, he's reached base safely in 15 straight games. Then you've got Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell. He has 72 RBI currently. Jorge Soler, Jason Hayward in right field. David Ross catching for John Lester. Did you see the Brewers at Wrigleyville at Starbucks yesterday? They were the latest team to make a Starbucks run. Orlando Arcia, Andy Wilkins, Jacob Barnes, and Damian Magnifico got 24 coffees for the team before the doubleheader yesterday. Just one of many teams to make that run. And one more time, how about another Rizzo, this time on Buckingham Fountain? Not a bad way to get you ready for the Brewers and the Cubs at the top of the hour. Well, once again, thank you for joining me for watching Bases Loaded here on Comcast SportsNet. Brewers and Cubs comes your way next. Cubs postgame live is immediately following the game.
If I can't stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Your heart's been repaid.
Excuse me, I think there's a misprint.
Oh, model year-end clearance event. Looks right to me.
Shouldn't it be clear?
Clearly, it is time to get a great deal and a reward card on this turbocharged Jetta. Got to make room for the 2017 models. It is a clearance event. Why is that so hard for people to understand? Seems clear to me. Clear to me. Ready for a test drive?
Whatever you want to call it, don't miss the Volkswagen Model Year-End event. Hurry in and lease the 2016 Jetta S for $149 a month after a $1,000 bonus.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Flashlight.
Air horn. Go.
Jack Link's, feed your wild side.
There you have it, folks. It's the greatest double play ever.
Get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each. Add any 4 20-ounce Pepsi-Cola products for just $5.
Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball.
I'm a big fan of my Bank of America mobile banking app. I can manage my accounts, deposit checks, get alerts, pay my bills, and more. I'm a big fan of this team, too. In fact, I tried out to be the mascot. Apparently, I'm overqualified. I do not have an overbite.
Beautiful night here at Wrigley Field, and Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. After sweeping a doubleheader yesterday, the Cubs host the Milwaukee Brewers, Game 3 of a 4-game NL Central matchup. Great to have you with us here on CSN for Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The starting rotation has largely been great all year, save for a little spell before the All-Star break, but that is in the rearview mirror now.
Yeah, they went through a little bit of a tough patch and then really turned things on at the beginning of the second half. We'll show you the breakdown. July 1st to the 10th, that's leading into the All-Star break. Starters were 1-5. The club 2-8 in that stretch. The starters had an 8.81 ERA since the break. 18-4 for the starters, 22-8 for the team with a sparkling 2.09 starters ERA.
And Jason Hamill has led the way, 6 starts, all wins, and has not allowed a run in each of his last 3. And the Cubs will hand the ball to John Lester, who has gotten very comfortable here at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, boy, everybody in this rotation so much better here at home than on the road. Lester certainly following suit. 11 starts at Wrigley this year, 6-2 with a 2.07 ERA. Opponents hitting just 196 against him. Craig Counsell's team has a lot of speed. They're going to try to turn this game into a track meet.
They do not have Ryan Braun in their lineup tonight. He's dealing with a knee issue. Jimmy Nelson, the right-hander, will start for the Brewers. Yesterday, the Cubs outscored Milwaukee 8-1 in sweeping a double dip. Game 3 is next.
$1 window siding and door installation, 102 Pine Street.
Let's go, guys.
It's Feldco to the rescue with $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Plus no money down and no interest until 2018. It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year.
That's $1.
$1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Hurry, $1 installation ends Labor Day. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The summer clearance event is here at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $299 a month. Both with zero due. Or this 2016 Dodge Caravan, only $16,997. Find it at Feeney, FeeneyAutos.com.
For almost 40 years, I've worked hard to enforce the safety rules on our highways and in workplaces, to hold the negligent accountable. And it's helped make our community a safer, better place. But to keep our community safe and strong, we've got to take good care of our children. This is why I've donated hundreds of thousands to support programs like Kids Stop, Reading Buddies, Teachers of Excellence, and United Way. And it's also why I only do personal injury law. Because helping injured people win justice is its own reward.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the ballpark. A lovely evening for Cubs baseball. A couple of quick news and notes before we get into the starting lineups. Cubs making some roster moves today. They were going to have to make a move no matter what because they had 26 men on the roster for the doubleheader. So 2 guys go to the DL. Chris Coughlin had that collision. He's got a right rib bruise. Joe Smith has a hamstring strain, so they're on the DL. Right-hander Spencer Patton is up from AAA Iowa and is available in the Cubs bullpen tonight. Now the Brewers Southwest starting lineup, they had a rough day at the plate yesterday. 9 for 59 combined in the doubleheader. 1 run. They batted .153. Broxton, Arcia, VR at the top. Again, no Ryan Braun. Hernan Perez did homer in the 9th inning of Game 2 for their only run of the day. Carter, Jeanette, Jake Elmore playing left for Braun. It's Martin Maldonado, the catcher, and the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson, batting 9th.
Cubs defensively brought to you by Arby's. Soler, Fowler, Hayward. The big guys patrol the outfield. Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo, third to first. Behind the plate, David Ross. And as you might have guessed, on the mound, our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, Big John Lester, out there for the 24th time. John 12-4 with a 2.93 earned run average. League batting .222 against him. 2-2 lifetime against the Brewers with a .306 earned run average. 5 starts made against them. 1 this season. That one did not go particularly well. Went 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 5, struck out 7 in that ball game against the Brewers in Milwaukee. That was back on July 24th.
Your 4 umpires headed by the crew chief Jerry Davis. He's behind the plate. Rob Drake is at first, Carlos Torres at second, and Sam Holbrook over at third. It's a half a day for us.
Yeah, we're used to doing 2.
You have to call 9 tonight, and the Cubs hoping just 8.5. It'll be Lester against Keon Broxton. And away we go. Fastball inside for ball 1. Very calm conditions as we get started.
Yeah, just a mild zephyr out there. It's muggy. Broxton, a speed guy, really been swinging it well here of late.
.81 degrees. West breeze. Cubs media relations chief Peter Chase says at 3 miles an hour.
It's not even enough to influence your choice of clubs.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Key for Lester is to limit the base runners, and as you said in the open, the Brewers, when they do get guys on, they're going to try to run tonight, no doubt. That is part of their game as it is. Line shot foul to left.
Yeah, that was part of their success against John in his start in Milwaukee. They were very aggressive, especially early in that ball game on the bases. Able to create some things. Then, surprisingly, they kind of backed off a little bit. But I would think Craig Counsell will be really pushing his guys to run here tonight, especially with no Ryan Braun in the lineup.
Sharply hit on the ground to the shortstop, Russell. Well, the rookie shortstop, Orlando Arcia. And a graphic in the open about the Cubs rotation. Their last 15 games, they've combined to go 10-0 with a 163. Low for ball one. When John misses, usually he likes to miss low.
Yeah, more sinkers than four-seamers. He will elevate on occasion, but not very often. Cutter will go anywhere from 87 to 90 miles per hour. He likes to bury that down and in on the right-handed hitters. It swings and misses with his curveball.
Bunted, foul. Ball came back up and hit the batter. He was in the box. Well, I'm guessing you got a good night's sleep after a long day at the yard yesterday.
Yeah, slept well. For a nice walk around the city earlier today.
Two and two.
So it might be a little bit of a challenge down at first base here in the early going. David Ross out for an early visit. As he walks out there, he's reviewing his cheat sheet, seeing how they're going to try to put Arcia away here with this 2-2 offering. You see one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Just turned 22 earlier this month.
Foul. So we just talked about the running game against Lester tonight. 17 successful steals against John. 8 caught. The Brewers started tonight. Jimmy Nelson has allowed the second most stolen bases in the majors, 22. So that could be a factor on the other side as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about Noah Syndergaard? He's given up 40, almost double the rest of the field.
Yeah, big, tall, lanky right-hander. Takes him a while to unwind and deliver to the plate.
Lefty on a 2-2. That time he elevated a bit. And picks up his first strikeout.
At 93, up and off that right shoulder of David Ross.
Fifth player to be used in the third spot for the Brewers this year. Mostly it's been Ryan Braun. He's not in there, so Jonathan VR, who normally hits first or second, will bat third for the first time and swings and misses.
I'm pretty fresh here this evening. Cutter at 90 miles an hour. We've seen the fastball at 94. A little change piece. That's a dandy.
Speaking of Braun, who left the game last night with the knee injury, he has not gone to the DL, and it's altogether possible he could be in their lineup tomorrow. So they're feeling a lot better about it today than they were yesterday. Calling it a sprain.
That was a big time try. Giving up the body, running into the wall.
A little bit wide, 2-2.
John, last time out, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. That was against the Cardinals.
Division lead is 12 ahead of the second place Cardinals, who won their 4th in a row. 8-2 in Houston. That's foul. But he moved in the bullpen. Spencer Patton, newest member of the group, saying, I could have ended up on the DL. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and he's kind of tucked back in the corner there. Oh, what did that hit?
Oh, no. The Northwestern guy's the craziest of all of them. Chad Noble, the bullpen catcher. We think that this ball actually hit Travis Wood as John Lester goes 1-2-3 in the first. Oh, my goodness. Cubs coming up.
You hear that? That's the sound of our summer sale firing up its engines with fares as low as $69 one way. So get ready to take off, because sale prices as low as these don't happen every day. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 double play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help. Get an 11% rebate on everything in the store, including thousands of sale items. Whatever you're creating, you'll save 11% on everything you need, so you can finish your latest project and start planning the next big thing. Get building with an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices now at Menards. Good through August 20th. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a hit in his first plate appearance, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Cubs Southwest starting lineup back to a season high 32 over 575 and 43. Fowler, Bryant, Rizzo at the top. Zobrist, Russell, Soler in the middle. Good numbers for Jorge against Jimmy Nelson. Hayward, Ross, and Lester. 3 veterans rounding it out. Nelson's ready to work. He has never beaten the Cubs, even though he's got a good ERA of under 3. And a first pitch strike.
Run up against his Cubs rotation. Thinking your club's not going to score a lot of runs, and Nelson has been victimized in many of those starts against the Cubs with poor run support. Lately, he just hasn't been sharp. He's lost his last 5 starts. He's 0-3 in August with a 10.13 ERA for the year. 6-12, 4.07. Also 27 years of age. Big dude, 6'6", 250.
His last win was July 16th in Cincinnati, and he was really good. 7 shutout innings. To 5 starts since, all losses, and has not gone more than 5 innings in any of those starts. With pretty high pitch counts.
A little below average in terms of strikeout rate. Walk rate is too high. He looks slender to me. It looks like he's dropped some weight.
Hey, a 3-2 count on Dexter Fowler.
There you go. He should change his number to 32. or 3-2.
Payoff delivery is fought off foul.
Playing around with that grip there with that spike. He added the spike curveball last year. It's been a good pitch for him. Get up to 97 on the radar. Gun sit comfortably at 93. More sinkers than four-seamers. That spike curveball I talked about, a slider and a changeup that he doesn't use that often.
Fastball misses wide for ball 4. So the table setter is on.
That was a big part of the doubleheader yesterday. Cubs working deep counts, working walks. Matt Garza in the first game for the Brewers lasted just 5 innings through 103 pitches. Walk 3 plus a lot of deep counts. Cubs worked 5 walks in the nightcap.
Chris Bryant takes a strike. 3 hits combined in the doubleheader. He's hit .353 on this homestand. The Cubs have gone 6-2 through the first 8. 1-4, lost 2, and have now won their last 2.
A couple games get away late against the Cardinals. Could have won them all. If you want to be greedy.
Bryant hitting .342 against the NL Central. 14 or half of his home runs have been against his own division. There's been a one-man wrecking crew against the Reds in particular.
Line drive rate is up over last year, striking out a fair bit less than he did last season.
Long pause by Nelson, and Bryant requests and is given time.
Been a whole lot of movement on that leaderboard of late.
We'll see Arenado and the Rockies on Friday. They beat up on the Nationals today. And that clipped him. 2 on, nobody out.
Early trouble for Jimmy Nelson. 2-seamer, which has good run, but it runs him into a base runner.
14th time he's been hit.
Yeah, it's, long and strong guys, you have to pitch them in. They try to prevent them from getting their arms extended, and the byproduct of that is going to get by pitches from time to time.
Ties Anthony Rizzo's hit by pitch total. Three for 8 in the doubleheader. It was the big catch everybody was talking about afterward. We had a nice post-game chat with him. Lowe's home field advantage. He knows how to navigate the tarp and the bricks. A couple of times with Jason Hamill on the mound against the Brewers. This was last year in August. Into the stands. And then last night on the ledge. Nails the landing.
I just love how methodical that one was last night, the way he got over there, assessed the situation, didn't get up on the ledge too early in case the ball drifted back into play, and calmly stepped up there and made the catch. And he talked afterwards about not sticking the landing, but really the bounce after the landing was not further than the width of his shoulders, so there's no automatic deduction.
All the love sent up high to Pledge. He reached the ledge. 1-2. Early scoring chance.
And so he'll slide the hands up on the bat a little bit.
Popped up short center. And it's Broxton to make the grab. So 1 out. And it brings up Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, good work there by Nelson. Anthony, when he gets the 2 strikes, especially in this situation, as you know, we talk about him choking up, looking to go more left center to left, using the opposite field, and so you got a chance to tie him up inside in that situation. This is an elevated fastball. Up above the happy zone, maybe in just a little bit.
Pitch strike on Zobrist. Walk and a hit batter to start the inning. Rizzo then popped to center. Now it's 1-1 on Zobrist. That Cardinal win today, Carlos Martinez took a no-hitter into the 6th. Brandon Moss homered again, so did Jeremy Hazelbaker. Outside 2-1.
I suppose Hazelbaker's going to need some more chances now with Holiday out of action.
This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Nelson. 2-2. So I guess we call this inning the full Nelson. At the belt. Coming home. Pulled into right and a base hit. Fowler around third. Here comes the throw. He's safe. 1-0 Cubs. Brewers had a shot at him. The throw by Perez was a little bit up the third base line. Zobrist gets an RBI. Cubs strike first again.
Early pressure. Zobrist has reached base at least twice in 7 of the last 9 ball games. Here's that throw up the line, allowing Fowler to sneak in the back door.
A slip there by Nelson. I'm sure that didn't feel very good. Perez is an infielder by trade, out there in right. Addison Russell first and third. Also on the plate, Bryant advanced 2 bases. That's the other part of the equation of Chris Bryant batting second. A much discussed topic among Cubs fans is that he's such a good base runner. He scored a ton of runs this year. You know, the idea of having one of your best base runners right at the top is a good idea too.
Especially with left-handed batters following, because he can do just that, go first to third on that base hit to right field. He's done it over 80% of the time.
He has scored 91 times already this year.
So you got Rizzo or Zobrist, behind him, pulling that ball into right field. Very high success rate going first to third for Bryant.
Russell fouls out of play. Addison had the game-winning sac fly in the first inning yesterday afternoon, and then was able to kick his feet up and watch a Cubs 4-1 win last night. How about Joe taking all 5 bench players from game 1 and starting them in game 2?
Yeah, well, it falls right in line with his approach all year. Using all of his guys, keeping everybody involved.
Bryant scores. Zobrist on his way to third.
Little slider down and away. Good pitch. Great result from Addison Russell's point of view. Just a little gap wedge. Barely got to the outfield grass.
Yep, placement over power. Early trip to the mound by Derek Johnson.
So far, he's had better command of his breaking ball than his fastball. Able to throw that tight little slider in the strike zone when need be. Fastball's been inconsistent.
Soler batting 6th, playing left, his 2nd consecutive start. 0 for 2, walked twice as the Cubs right fielder last night. 6 out of 17 with a home run against Nelson. A little high.
Yeah, and like I said, for a guy who likes to sink the ball, throws more two-seamers than 4, he's having a hard time getting that fastball down. Better. Came into this game with a first inning ERA of 1.88. Well, that hasn't been a real issue for him.
Two and one.
It's not starting well for Nelson, and Craig Counsell had to make a very early move to the bullpen in last night's game. His starter out after getting whacked by a comebacker after just 2/3 of an inning.
Right, and they did not replenish their bullpen. The move they made today was to send out Andy Wilkins. But they did not add a reliever. To the board. Wow. 5-0.
Wow is right. Man, you could see that one coming. That pitch was 3/4 of the way to home plate. Straight as a string over the heart of the plate. And Soler, who has been awfully good since coming off the disabled list, absolutely crushes that ball. Oh, my goodness. That is one impressive swing of the bat. It's home run number 9 for Soler. 4th since coming back from the DL. Smiles and hugs all the way around.
It was an enjoyable Ford home run replay. Shattered bat bouncer opposite way. Hayward on his way to second. The bat just disintegrated in his hands. And he's at second base. Still only 1 out. There's 7 batters in.
That's a trade Jason will be willing to make. Yeah. Break my toys as long as I get a knock. He died a hero. Jimmy Nelson wants a mulligan. They're not allowed in this sport.
We're hearing 450 feet, the projected distance on that Soler blast. Yikes.
That was a venti with a triple shot.
David Ross, second straight start for him. Strike 1. Oh, 2. Got him. David's taking one for the team here. He wants to get Lester back out on the mound. Got his lead.
Can run with that narrative.
Here is John. Cubs will send all 9 to the plate here in the first. This could be Jimmy Nelson's night where he's just
got to wear it.
Yeah, you gotta give me 4 or 5, Jimmy. Might be the message from the manager and the pitching coach.
Yeah, now the challenge for Nelson just to stay mentally strong, to stay engaged. He's lost his last 5 starts, staring down the barrel of 6 in a row now after giving up this 5 spot in the first. And a lot of baseball yet to be played, but I don't know, win expectancy at this point in the ball game. That's probably already over 90%. Not many teams can blow a 5-run lead at any point in the ball game.
Yep.
But it happens, so stay tuned. You never know. Don't be flipping over to those Olympics.
Yeah, we'll keep you engaged.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
We'll just start announcing Olympic results before you can watch them. If we get the sense you're starting to
that'd be one way to
cheat
do it.
On us, yeah.
A 40 pitch first inning. That's the one thing that will keep Nelson's start fairly short.
Right. Yeah.
It's just the amount of pitches.
They don't want to
might
break
not
them.
be able to get 4 innings in. And there's going to be maybe some early action. A little scurrying in the bullpen.
Well, whether it's Nelson or somebody coming out of the pen, somebody's going to have to suck it up here a little bit and give Council some innings, and I would not be surprised to see them try to get a pitcher up here for tomorrow now after the doubleheader yesterday and what we anticipate to be a short start for Nelson here tonight.
I just want to know where the SOLER dudes are tonight. We saw them last night.
I know.
They should have been here tonight.
I started to feel sorry for that baseball as it got into the hitting zone. It just looks so hittable. This is going to hurt. And John putting up an at-bat here, really making Nelson work. There they are.
They did it right twice, and then
Lester didn't want to get up. ER didn't want to stop. Then they started playing boggle, spelling different words.
He walked him. Wow. Here comes Fowler. Started this with a walk. And he takes ball one. I know you never experienced this, but kind of looks like Nelson has this idea of, I don't know what to do here. I have no place to go.
I know. Yeah.
Where do I go?
I've been in his head many times. Normally what happens is you just look in for the sign and you're not even thinking a whole lot. Just put a number down and I'll throw it. Had a little misfortune in this inning. The Russell hit was just a little blooper. The Hayward double, a cracked bat, a ground ball the other way. It all started, as it often does, with Fowler working a deep at bat and getting on base. In this instance, the leadoff walk. Five of those 16 coming here tonight.
Called strike three. Nelson avoids a 50-pitch inning by one, but the Cubs send 10 to the plate. Jorge Soler was one of the homers of the year, just in terms of sheer majesty.
Welcome to Honda. See anything you like?
Yeah. Now is the moment to get the Honda Civic you love, voted 2016 North American Car of the Year at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Cubs on top 5-0 as we move to the second inning. This is your Coors Light game report. We've been talking about that spectacular ledge climbing grab by Anthony Rizzo last night, and his teammates' reactions were priceless. Jason Hamill saying he may not look like an athlete, but don't let that fool frame you. He said fool you, excuse me. And maybe my favorite one, Ben Zobrist, who probably had the best seat in the house for it, said he wasn't going to entertain the idea of a leotard and all the gymnastics talk with Rizzo, but he was blown away by the crowd reaction. 10 years in the majors, and he says, I've never seen where a stadium basically wants a guy in the field to take a bow, a curtain call. And that's basically what we got to see last night, guys, after a gold glove moment from Anthony Rizzo.
Sure was. He keeps topping himself with those ledge grabs. So 5-0, and John Lester back to work here in the second.
Don't change your game. Stay on the attack.
0-1 to Perez. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Perez broke up the shutout in the second game, hitting his 10th home run. Turning into a pretty good-looking player. 25 years of age, a valuable guy in that he can play all over the diamond. Prior to this year, 351 Major League plate appearances, just 1 home run. This year, 266 plate appearances, and he's hit 10.
Yeah, whether or not a guy like Perez or Chris Carter, Scooter Gennett, bunch of their guys in the lineup tonight will be a part of this thing when the Brewers feel like they're really ready to compete for the playoffs. Remains to be seen, but whether they are or not, they want to be a part of something somewhere. So for them, just go out and produce, do what you do, and whether you get replaced here or not, you hope somebody else wants you.
And Perez, 25 years of age. He's got speed. He's stolen 21 bases this year. He's one of those guys that some may say, well, he's an everyday player on a bad team and a part-time player on a good team. And I think the jury's still out on Perez. I think he's a guy who, because of his versatility, could command a lot of at-bats on a good club.
For sure.
He doesn't walk a whole lot, so that doesn't have a high on base percentage, but the rest of the package is solid and appears to be getting better.
Can Lester work here? One hopper backhanded by Zobrist. Carter with his team leading 117th appearance. Doesn't hit a lot of singles. 57% of his hits been for extra bases, including 27 home runs. Whatever wind there was when we started has completely stopped. Strike 2.
Rare that there's not a little something going on with those flags.
Keep an eye on Anibal Sanchez. He's no hit the Royals through 6 tonight. There's the first Milwaukee hit. And guess what? It's a single by Carter.
Well, we talked about the Brewers and the running game with John on the mound. And they exploited it the last time he faced them. Carter, not a guy you're going to worry a whole lot about.
Jeanette fouls off. Came into the season a 124 hitter against lefties. And a lot better this year. 273 going into tonight.
Yeah, across the board his numbers better against lefties than righties. Got a higher on base, higher slugging percentage. Quite a remarkable job by Jeanette. Identifying a flaw in his game and then fixing it.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Third strikeout for Lester.
Hey folks, tickets are still available for tomorrow afternoon series finale with the Brewers. Don't miss any action at Wrigley Field. Visit Cubs.com to get your tickets today. We'll wrap up the homestand tomorrow afternoon, then off to Denver. Start of a 3-city road trip. Denver, San Diego, LA.
Jake Elmore playing left for Ryan Braun. Ninth start, center, left, right, second, and third. He's made starts at all those spots. Giants could not hold a 4-0 lead today. Pirates beat them 6-5. Giants had the bases loaded with nobody out in the ninth and could only get one off Tony Watson, who found an escape. So they sweep that series. They've won 6 out of 7. Very much in the wild card race. Giants fell out of first last night. There's a base hit for Elmore. 2 on for the Brewers for Maldonado.
Yeah, Gents are scuffling. The Pirates have been playing pretty solid ball for an extended period of time now. 28-17, I think I saw, over their last 45 games.
And Andrew McCutchen is getting back to being himself. 2 hits, including a home run.
In Pittsburgh within a game of each other, both right there in the thick of it for the wild card.
That was a Novocaine matchup today.
Wasn't that beautiful?
And Freeze was also involved.
It was a numbing experience. Ivan Nova and Matt Cain saw that in the Tribune this morning. I said, that is a beautiful thing.
Pitch is a strike. Running game not a factor at the moment. Brewers down 5 runs, 2 on but 2 down. They don't want to run into an out here with a pitcher on deck.
Yeah, and they don't have the right people out there. I think, you know, if they get some of their running guys on, even though they're down 5, I think they will try to run a little bit.
Be interesting though if Maldonado walks. Craig Counsell will have to at least, I mean, he probably won't. We'll let Nelson hit, but make you think twice, wouldn't it, after the first inning he had?
Would. Yeah, we're going to find out.
That's the case, and it will be Nelson. That's a bad feeling for a manager, and I'd say Craig Counsell's kind of had this mindset the entire series, managing from behind. Had the 2 injuries in game 2 last night. So it's not really about what strategically fits best. It's about, I got to get through 9 innings.
Yeah, he's got no lefties in his bullpen. Got some tired arms out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you had your bullpen covered, you might just pinch hit here and think to yourself, this is our one shot to get back into this game.
Absolutely. But he's got a short bench too. I don't know if Braun can pinch hit tonight or not. If he could, this would be the time to use him. Over below, and Lester with a long stare in for the crew chief, Jerry Davis.
Eric Hosmer doubled in the 7th to break up the Sanchez no-hit bid. Tigers lead the Royals 1-0. 2-0 on Nelson.
Yeah, now John's head spinning a little bit.
That was not a gimme.
Yeah, well, he's either upset that was borderline, upset at himself, or shaking his head because he didn't get the previous pitch number 1 in that sequence from Davis. In John's mind, it's the same pitch. According to our pitch tracks, it was a little bit higher.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Russell. He'll flip the Zobrist, and the inning is over. They leave him loaded. 5-0 Cubs early.
I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious. Some thrive on comedy. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world. Not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane. I've not seen any 2 who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
It's the recon mission for Tango 165. The endless search for the best berries. A midnight run for tacos al pastor. And the empty roads of Dawn Patrol. This is summer driving. During the Mazda Summer Drive event, get 0 to drive lease offers on any new 2016 Mazda.
Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Steven Strasburg putting together a fine season, but altitude got him today. Gave up 9 hits, 9 earned runs, could not get through 2, and a 12-10 Rockies win over the Nationals.
He's been scuffling a little bit of late after starting 13-0. Start prior to this one, he allowed 6 to the Braves in 5 1/3, and the start before that, he didn't make it out of the 5th against the Giants.
Ex-Cub DJ LeMahieu now hitting .343. 2 more hits today. He's slashing .343, .415, .496. After Lester averted problems by getting Nelson on a bases loaded fielder's choice. Back to work offensively after the Cubs sent 10 to the plate in the opening inning. Got him again. Twice.
Just keeps dropping that arm. After this one, I'll look into the dugout as if to say, I'm done, man. Or does anybody have an answer for me? A low 3/4 arm slot with a 2-seam fastball is going to put a little extra run on it. There's no real command of that fastball at all here tonight. And that's the other challenge for a manager when making that decision whether to let his pitcher hit in the previous inning is like, well, how much more am I realistically going to get out of my guy?
Strike. Cubs have the best record in baseball, best home mark, 43-19. 75 wins in their first 118 decisions. First time they've done that since 1929. Currently on a 103 win pace. Rizzo pops it up. Caught by VR from third.
No, it's a fun game to play when the ball's popped up like that. Hold your breath and see how long you can hold it. Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card. Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
When did you start that game?
I don't play it anymore. Just when I was young and immature. Now I'm old and immature.